This is the Hard Thing Podcast. Today, we are overcoming average.
Welcome back to the Thursdays meditation show where Justin and I talk about things that happen and things that will be happening and also things that we've talked about in the past. Justin, say hello.
Hello. As always, this is the Hard Thing Podcast, a show that helps you overcome average, step up above mediocrity, all by doing hard things. You see, you are in the battle for a better life, and we want to help you weaponize the everyday hard things of your life in order to make steps forward and progress and reach those goals and obstacles or achievements that you've set. And to do that, you have to overcome obstacles. And today, like Ty said, is our Thursday meditation show. This is the show where Ty and I test the theories of doing hard things in order to improve yourself. We literally put ourselves in the trenches. And on every Thursday meditation show, we talk about 3 topics. So we talk about the previous challenge one of us gave to the other one, and then we talk about the action items given to us by our last podcast guest, and then we follow that up with talking about the new challenge one of us will give to the other one. So I believe this week was Ty's challenge. So Ty, tell us about the challenge and what you learned and go forth.
The challenge was to memorize 4 things. They could have been quotes. They could have been the Holy Scripture. Could have been any various topic that I desired. And what's hilarious about this, the one thing that I learned is to memorize, it's almost like you need to have a good memory. Because I forgot to do any of this. So yeah, what did I learn? I learned I need to write things down. And in the past, I've written these things down, these challenges, and I didn't write it down this time. And I usually have it on my desk, this little piece of paper. Every day when I come into the office, sit down to work, I see this paper and I read through, but guess what? Do you see any paper on my desk?
Your desk looks pretty clean, actually.
Actually, yeah, compared to previous times, yeah. So it's unfortunate because being disorganized actually makes me more organized. Ever thought about that? Having a piece of paper on my desk looks disorganized, but actually it has my to-do list on there. So,
do you need a composition notebook? I have thousands.
Yes, actually, I would love one. That's the kind that has like the little cow-looking stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bring over like 2 or 3.
Heck yeah, man.
There you go, man.
Yeah, because like...
It's like your late birthday present.
Yeah.
You were saying...
Dude, we're just having a good time.
Dude, it is a good time.
We're just having a good freaking time.
Sometimes, and this will come up in the action items, but sometimes you need to laugh. You just need to laugh.
You just need to have a good time. Mm-hmm. Stick up your butt, pull it out.
Are you talking to me personally, or?
Well, in general, but
a lot of people say they've never said I have a stick up my butt, but I get the feeling that they would if I gave them the opportunity. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Cool.
Maybe.
So you need to write stuff down. I'm going to bring you some composition notebooks, a couple actually, so you can label one for work and one for not work, or do whatever you want. You're the organizer of your life.
I love notebooks, man. They're like my thing.
Dude, me too. That's why I have billions. So. Now let's talk about the action items. This last week we had Kim Spencer on the show. She is an entrepreneur, fitness enthusiast, coach, certified coach, mother, and she's just fun to talk to. We had a lot of interesting conversation tidbits on our Monday show. Go back and listen to that. But she left 3 action items. One was to go through her Heal Your Money Mindset workbook and course. 2 was to be okay in the stages of learning. 3 was to allow yourself to feel. Now, the Heal Your Money Mindset workbook was an interesting one. Usually my guests give, they give different action items. I mean, everyone's different. So I actually went and downloaded her Heal Your Money Mindset workbook. And it's funny, in the show, she actually said that you can replace anything that you want with, like replace the word money with whatever you want. Like heal your relationship mindset, heal your fitness mindset, whatever, And I'll take you through the exercises she goes through in that workbook right now. It's really simple. It's basically divided into 2 sections, and each section has about 12 questions. The first section asks you to think of one relationship that you just are stellar with. Maybe it's your relationship with your car, your friend, your God, whatever it is, or maybe a computer game. or a video game, whatever. Think about this relationship, and then the workbook has you go through a bevy of questions saying, why did you choose this relationship as your awesome relationship? What comes to mind when you think of this relationship? When was it so awesome? When was it not so awesome? What did you do to make it awesome again? What would you use 3 words to describe this relationship, and so forth. So you get this kind of good, I guess, holistic image of this relationship, right? And then it says, now I want you to do the same thing with money. So think of a time when you were awesome with money. Think of a time when you weren't awesome with money, and what did you do to get back to being awesome?
What if you were never awesome, and then you never, like you were always bad, and then
Right.
you never got back to awesome?
Well, there are questions in there for that. I'm just kind of summing it up. I don't remember all the questions.
Asking for a friend, of course.
No, you're asking for me, actually. I'm your friend. Wait, I'm not
this,
your friend.
This just got awkward. Justin, it's the trope.
The
Asking
what?
for a friend.
I know. I'm just joking.
What does trope mean?
Trope?
We could probably edit that
It's like
out.
a stereotype. No, it's fine. It's
Or-
like a stereotype-ish thing.
Or like a cliche.
Yeah, well, not kind of.
So what I just said, asking for a friend, could I use that
Yeah, you used it correctly.
as a trope? I mean, I know I used it
I
correctly.
don't know about trope. I think it's just a saying.
So let's edit all that out.
No, we're gonna keep it.
Nope.
Anyways,
Well, we can keep in the
We're
parts
gonna
that I'm
peek
funny,
into
but
it?
the parts that I sound dumb, we edit out.
that's gonna be hard.
Oh, freaking boy.
Sorry, I wasn't meaning. Anyways, it was just the whole exercise is really to, instead of like helping you do the 1, 2, 3 steps of money, it's going kind of the route that your problems with money aren't your problems with money. How you think about money is what's causing those problems.
Right.
And
Interesting.
well, for example, a lot of the questions I asked, like I don't think it was in there, but it was kind of intimating like, what do you rely on money for, or what do you expect from money, or what place does money have in your life? And for me, a lot of it was control, right? And like when you think about money, what do you think about? Oh, maybe I won't have enough, or something like that, you know? Mm-hmm. And I discovered all these fears in my mind about money that are antithetical towards building up an empire and growing my financial base, right? Mm-hmm. So really, it's just an exercise to reveal how you're thinking about money and maybe start to shift it one way or another.
That's kind of cool. I like it. And it's also, it's making you, cause like when you think of friends, like you could have a bad relationship with a friend or something.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Like, but you do have bad relationships with people.
Yeah.
But you don't think like, oh, I'm the worst with people just because you have a bad relationship. Like, because you can look and be like, oh, well, I have a good relationship with this friend or with this family member or with a parent or whatever it is, you know? So it's cool that she is pulling it out, almost abstracting the financial, like the way we view money.
Yeah.
And comparing it with the abstract of how we have relationships with anything.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's I've
That's
actually
interesting.
started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad lately, and it's funny because I feel like both of these methods are kind of going out at this going about the same thing, that how you're thinking about money and what you're using it for in your mind is really the things that need to change.
Yeah.
Because for most people, it's not like one major decision that destroyed their financial well-being. Usually,
It's a series.
exactly.
It's a series of decisions.
Many interactions, much like a relationship.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's interesting. And what I may not have been listening when you said this, but where do we find this booklet or this?
It's actually, I put it in the show notes of last episode, so that would be episode 1.
Let's just put it in the description for this
well?
one too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Might as well. We're talking about it, so.
There's a video that goes along with it. I didn't watch the video yet. I just downloaded the workbook. but
Interesting. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Probably wouldn't take you. The video is pretty long. It's like an hour and something. But the workbook was nice, and it's just this nice, mental exercise.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
All right, Ty, what do you think about the stages of learning?
They're hard. Yeah. But you can figure out how to get out of them quicker.
What do you mean by that?
Because it's not fun. It's not fun to not know, you know? And it's like this huge obstacle that you have to overcome. And then once you understand something like a principle, then it's like, okay, now I'm over that huge rock. Now the learning is easier. Mm-hmm. So the biggest example that I have, well, this, what I'm saying is like, don't be okay being in the learning stage. Get out of it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't have anything to say about this, but but one story that I have is like you need to be okay. For my work, I had to learn React. Okay,
right. It's a coding language, by the way.
Right. It's like a library.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had to learn this. I wasn't a developer yet, but I knew that our team of developers was using this on the front end, and so I had to learn it. And I knew JavaScript at that point, and HTML is like whatever, all these other things. Anyway, so I had to learn it, and there was just like a learning curve because I'd like watch these YouTube videos, and I don't get it. Like, what is going on? Like, I would get it, and I'd be able to like follow along, but then when I would try to go on my own, it was like it just wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then there was this one night where I decided, you know what, I have to learn this. I'm gonna stay up all night until I know this. So I went to the gas station, bought 2 energy drinks, drank both of them, and then I was up until like 6 a.m. the next day, and I learned how to do React, right? And so like I guess the fact that I'm not okay with being in the learning stage, it like forces me to like learn as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that like I was a professional React developer at that point, but like I understood it to the point where I could build things on my own. And I guess that's where it comes into play, where it's like I need to be okay not being the very best.
Yeah.
But I had to get over the hump.
Yeah.
And once I did, then I was like, I'm okay like learning now. Now that I have a foundation, now I'm okay moving forward. So I don't know.
No, yeah. I think that's really good to know because it's not useful for us to be in the early stages of learning, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, there's unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. Gosh, I always mess that up. So basically, you go from not knowing anything, so you don't even know what you don't know, and then knowing some stuff, so you know what you don't know, and then knowing a large amount of stuff, so you know a lot about what you know, and then knowing basically everything, so that way what you know is so unconscious, so easy that you do it without thinking, right?
Right, yeah.
But like, there's no utility in being in the beginning stages where you don't know anything.
Yeah.
We all have to be there. So I think what you're saying is, here are some hacks or tips, principles to move yourself forward. And I think what Kim might be saying is that like, don't attach shame to anywhere you are.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're in the beginning and you realize that like, hey, I'm not freaking, doing as many workouts as this person, or my podcast isn't as big as Joe Rogan's.
Right. Like comparing yourself.
Yeah.
You're saying that that's what she was trying to get at. It's like, don't compare yourself. Don't let comparing yourself like hurt you.
Yeah. But I also think she was kind of getting at the point of like, I'm in the unconscious incompetence stage. Maybe you could say that mentally. Well, okay, now I know what I need to do. I need to just learn everything and get just a lay of the land until I know where I don't know things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of use it as a map. Maybe.
Well, and it's almost like, so when you are in the first stage.
Yeah.
Say it.
Unconscious incompetence.
So basically, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. That is one of the most uncomfortable places to be, because it's almost as if someone puts a blindfold on you,
yes,
and then they drive you to who knows where, and then they take your arm and they put you into this room and they say, "Okay, go find the door. Like, get out of this room and go back home." And like all the lights are turned off, so even if you took off the blindfold, it's like, wait, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Okay. And I think what I was doing is like, I don't like being there, but maybe what she's saying is like, by being there, you end up learning, you end up forcing yourself to learn.
Yeah.
Cause it's like,
because you don't like being there.
well, what happens when your friend leaves and you're stuck in this room? It's like, well, it might be dark, but like you're going to start walking and you're going to start feeling things like, and have your arms out, and then sooner or later your eyes adjust. Maybe, I don't know.
No, that's a really, really good analogy. because you do start getting a lay of the land, you know, where general things are.
Yeah.
And then you go in for smaller details.
So maybe it's like be okay being uncomfortable
Yeah.
in subjects that you don't understand.
Yeah.
But also don't come off as if you do know things that you don't know.
Yeah, that's really important. And at least for me, one thing that I'm trying to work on more, especially, and again, I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad again. But he talks about how these two young boys are the first people to ask him how to become rich in his whole life. And a lot of people work for him. I've noticed that, like, that's one thing no one really asks others, like, hey, how do you become rich? Or just being humble enough to ask someone who's already there, how did you do that?
Right.
I think that's one really important way to move yourself from unconscious incompetence to higher up, you know?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
All right, allow yourself to feel. Ty, tell me about your feels.
What if you don't want to feel?
Yeah, I don't know.
What if you're just like, I'm pushing this down as deep as possible and I don't want to feel it?
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, this is really interesting. So I know someone, no names, right? Because this is confidential.
Yeah.
This person suffers from anxiety and takes, is prescribed medication from their doctor or psychologist to help them during the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recently, they told me about some dreams that they had where, in many of these different dreams, like randomly at one point in the dream, they would just start weeping. They just start crying in the dream, right?
Yeah.
And I asked them and I said, so what have you not allowed yourself to mourn? Like, what are you sad about? And they were like, well, I don't know. And I said, well, maybe that's one thing that your body's trying to tell you, I think we do. And I had this discussion just last Saturday with my last podcast guest, which will come out in months from now because whatever. But we talked about how, like, tears by themselves don't mean anything, right? Someone's crying, you ask them, why are you crying?
Right, yeah.
But they could be like, well, I'm crying because my best friend died or whatever. But in my opinion, it's more important what they're doing despite those tears.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone's crying, but they're still getting up every day, going to work and feeding their family, but they're crying about their situation, I say let them cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But feeling's pretty tough, especially on bad days.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta feel the right way.
Well, sometimes you gotta put it away so that you can get through the day.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
And so it's like, allow yourself to feel. Maybe what would be beneficial is to plan out a time that, one thing I love to do is to go, take a drive.
Yeah.
And I like to go up the canyon and then park somewhere on the road, that has like a view, mm-hmm. and get out and like listen to some music and just kind of like stand there and think.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the time that it's like, allow myself to feel. Like I need to just feel everything. It's like meditation,
Yeah.
Just feel everything that you need to feel.
Yeah.
And maybe it's okay that throughout the day you're kind of like hiding and closing those feelings up, so that you can do things with, like, you can be productive. You can achieve things that you need to achieve, but then you also get the benefit. And that's probably actually, so Tools of Titans.
Yeah.
By, what's his name?
Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss. He, like, one of the things that he said that almost every person in there did, that was successful, did meditation.
Really?
Yeah, they did some form of meditation, whether that was like prayers in the morning or it was like actual meditation where you're like going through a
mantra.
Like there's some YouTube videos that kind of walk you through a meditation program or whatever. Whatever it is, like they're doing some kind of meditation. And so maybe that's like one of the ways that we can like find time in the day. I guess for me, like I said, it's like this big event where I go on a drive and I go to a place and I stay for a while. But maybe I need to find a better way of like daily, like in the morning for 10 minutes, just relax and think and feel.
I mean, each person has their own different methods. And maybe it needs to be big and like a moment for you, you know? Another thought I had was maybe we need to stop confusing showing feelings with feeling feelings. Like maybe I can feel angry, but I can, recognize, identify, and at least allow myself, I am angry, but I'm stepping that aside for a second and doing what I need to do. Kind of like you were saying, but maybe we need to change that in our minds from like we don't feel emotions until then, till we don't show emotions,
Right.
But that's just semantics.
Yeah.
But it's never just words, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's always meaning. So
I like it.
cool. Jinx.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You can't talk.
Yes, I can because I counted.
I counted for you.
No.
No, you counted for me. You counted for me, so you don't get to talk.
That's not a
Which
thing.
is perfect. Even though we're not going to follow those rules because this is a podcast, so we're both talking. Here are the challenges for you, Ty. I'm going to pause after each one so you can tell me whether or not you think it is productive for you, and if it's not,
Then you have other ones.
I will come up with a different challenge.
Okay. Cool.
So number 1
Yeah.
is tell 7 new people
7 new people.
that you are a co-host on a podcast.
Then I am a co-host on a podcast. That would actually be really easy. Because I'm on a team of like 8 people. And I could be like, hey guys, just FYI, I'm on a podcast.
Do it. Okay.
But maybe. We'll see.
Next,
7 new people.
Yeah, 7 new people.
Okay.
Number 2. Try a new hobby.
Try a new hobby.
Yeah.
Any restrictions?
It has to be one you've never done anything with before.
That's interesting. Isn't that what new means?
Yes.
Turns out it's still like anything, but it just has to be something that I haven't done. Because that seems like it's, I don't know.
Really easy?
Well, no, I mean, it could be hard because I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like if I've never done it, then I probably didn't even know it existed.
Well, there you go. Maybe you need to research it before
Okay.
you even do it.
You're right.
Last one. Make your career plan. / apply for a new, bigger job. Like a job that literally would make you nervous, but you still have the chance of getting it. And again, I don't know how relevant that is to what you're trying to do.
I mean, to be honest with you, the reason why I wouldn't want to do this one
Is because the month sabbatical?
well, I mean, no, well, like currently my job is great, right?
Yes.
So I don't have an issue. But the reason why I wouldn't want to do this one or this one is because my next job, I want to be my own business.
Real estate.
My own business.
Okay.
Whether that's real estate or something else, I don't know. But
Well,
yeah, so
Okay.
so not this one.
okay. So then let me give you a different one.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna make it up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
thinking. Let's see. What's going on in the life of Ty right now? Okay.
Okay.
Find a way to do at least 1 hour of volunteer service. 1 hour of volunteer service or 2 hours of virtual volunteer service. But whatever. Just volunteer service is the theme.
Try a new hobby.
Try a new hobby. Any previews we can get?
As to what hobby?
Yeah.
Dude, no, because I don't even know.
All right. I already invited you to try some ju-jitsu.
Oh, freak yes, dude. Yes. Yes, that's what we need to do. Yes.
All right.
Let's do it. Because I've never, well, okay, but here's the thing. I did karate. So,
Completely different.
okay, but it's like a fighting, like it's this,
Well, karate's striking, right?
I don't know.
You did karate for 1 day.
For like 2
That
days.
doesn't count.
Okay, dude, you're the one making the rules. So I'm
I
just
am.
double checking.
And we don't have to do jiu-jitsu. We could do something else. If you want to do geocaching or...
Jiu-jitsu.
Or maybe woodwork. You did woodworking.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you could try painting.
I want to build a trailer.
Like a teardrop trailer?
Yes.
Dude, I know a guy who did that.
Well, I'm going to do it. Now you know another guy that's going to do it. So,
Well, cool. So thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Hard Thing Podcast. We are super happy you guys are here with us. We're very grateful that you're sticking with us, listening to these episodes. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Never miss an episode. We have episodes coming out on Mondays and Thursdays, like I said. So stay tuned for this Monday's episode. It's going to be awesome. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And then we just like to invite you to share the show with someone you know. Have them join in with us, and maybe you and them can do some challenges together. So I also want to implore you guys to think of your family. Many of you will probably have younger siblings, and you can remember growing up with them and playing with your toys and them being small, and you kind of watching out for them. And then I want you to imagine one day that they're gone, that they just were stolen, and you don't know where they are. And then somehow you find out that they've been trafficked down to South America, and they are being abused daily. How would you feel? I'd imagine you'd feel pretty terrible. Well, if you want to be a hero and help rescue them, you can. So I want you to join efforts with Operation Underground Railroad. They're a nonprofit organization, and they go undercover to rescue these kids who have been stolen and trafficked away, and they bring them back home, or they put them in aftercare homes, which will provide better situations than their home life. And we want to encourage you to help us raise $1,000 for them. Go to gofundme.com/overcoming-average, or just go to their website at ourrescue.org. Get involved, get to know the message, and donate some money. I want you to know that they do not pay us for this advertising spot. They don't even know we do it. I do it because I believe in them, and I want you to get to know their message and help them out, because these kids need help, especially this time of year when we're all thinking about family. So go get involved. Go to ourrescue.org or go to gofundme.com/overcoming-average. Now, I want to say goodbye until next episode, and keep doing hard things, fellas and ladies, because you will overcome average.